Rimpac, where 26 countries bomb Hawaii, a neutral nation, for 36 days, with no accountability for the damage they cause. Stop Rimpac war games now. This is a fast story about air testing and military pollution. The military's own tests show very high levels of lead on the impact zones. That's a really good reason for air testing. This 2004 EIS stated the military would never use, store, or transport radioactive munitions in Hawaii. But a process in 2005 forced the military to admit they had contaminated Hawaii back in the 1960s. The first state legislation on military pollution was House Bill 1452. Despite overwhelming community support, 1452 failed to pass. Now, interestingly, a short time later, the U.S. Army and the State of Hawaii Public Health Department published websites about the DU contamination of Hawaii. Both agencies claim no public health harm. Both agencies cite similar references. Both are ignoring the science of dust migration and chemical differences between DU and DU oxides. Therefore, both are ignoring the potential public health impacts, and neither agency provides any proof of their claims of no harm. Next, passing 8-1 was Hawaii County Council Resolution 639-08. In this one-page resolution, 2 points were the most important. 1, halt all live fire training until a full assessment of the DU contamination is completed, and 2, begin air testing. Now, the military didn't actually deny this resolution. They ignored it completely. What the military did instead was applied for a license from the NRC. When the NRC finally approved the Army's inadequate plan, with 0 restrictions on live fire training and 0 requirements for air testing, it feels like these state and federal agencies are in collusion. The military commanders have acted shamefully about the pollution they create. So let's consider a different point of view. Before 1893 and the U.S. military's illegal invasion, Hawaii was a neutral nation. Many see live fire training as violations of international law, committing war crimes against a friendly nation under the rules of occupation. By really comprehending this view, you might see the daily bombardment of live fire training here differently. We do not consent. Now is time to decommission, clean up, and remove all weapons of war from the Hawaiian Islands.
And I'm very, very pleased to be introducing the next speaker, who is also a performer, so there will be perhaps even a musical expression. Please put your hands together for an amazing human being and a powerhouse of activism, Laulani Teale.
Aloha, everybody.
Hello.
Mahalo for having me over here. I'm from Oahu, from a place called Kahalu'u. You know, as you know, there are the same place names on different islands because we're all connected. And so, yeah, I'm from Kahalu'u. My family is from a place called Kahana on the island of Oahu. And I guess I'm here to talk about, when we talk about stop bombing Hawaii, right? We're talking about stop bombing Hawaii. What I'm pretty sure we all really want is to stop the bombing everywhere. Stop the bombing in Iraq, stop the bombing in Afghanistan, stop the bombing in the Pacific, you know, in our Micronesian brothers and sisters. You know, stop the bombing in every single place that a bomb is dropping in this world, right? That's the real goal, I believe. Yeah? So, how do we get the bombs to stop dropping? You know, the way that, you know, that saying, think globally, act locally, right? What is it that we need to do here in Hawaii in order to stop those bombs from dropping on us, right, on this land, and also in all of these other places? There's an answer to that question. At least I believe there is an answer to that question. Hawaii is a neutral country under an illegal military occupation. So, in other words, those forces that are dropping those bombs, that are putting the bombs in the land, that are playing target practice with all of their friends during Rimpac, which by the way is coming up in April of next year on this island, as well as Oahu, as well as Kauai, as well as other islands. Rimpac is something that we all need to surround and ku'e. That is, by the way, the major war games of the world. It's like the bomb Olympics, right? Everybody gets to like build little villages and then blow them up. You know, they get to shoot each other. And mind you, some of the participants are like China and other countries that really are actually talking about shooting each other. So Rimpac, you know, which is the Rim of the Pacific military exercises, is where they will practice that, right? Now, how do we stop that at the same time as we stop the bombs that are dropping in Pohakuloa, the missiles on Kauai, the radiation in Pu'uloa and Pearl Harbor on Oahu? How do we make all of those things stop? I'm going to say that the answer is in asserting our status as an occupied, neutral country. This is crucial. It's crucial for us. It's crucial for world peace. It's crucial for turning the tide of humanity towards something that actually makes sense and where all of our kids are going to survive, and their kids and their kids and their kids. So, how do we do that? Well, I think we probably need to go back to that point at which neutrality was taken away from Hawaii. And of course, as you probably know, that was on January 17th, 1893 at Laulani Palace, when a bunch of corporate sugar barons invaded with guns, and they say overthrew. I don't like the word overthrew. I like invaded. Yeah, they did not overthrow the queen, because overthrowing would mean they took her actual power. They did not. She held on to her power. She yielded under protest. So in other words, yes, you have a gun at my back, so I am going to put my hands up until such time as your daddy, the United States of America, takes that gun out of my back. Right? That's what she did. And that's where we're at. We've still got our hands up with a guy with a gun at our back. That is what is going on. If that gun gets out of our back, we can assert our neutrality. If we assert our neutrality, we go from being the biggest parking lot in the world for war toys, for invasive, talk about invasive species. These are invaders with massive, massive military tanks, guns, strikers, bombs, everything you can name, and they are going into every country of the world and asserting themselves in it. It's cancerous. That's what a cancer cell does. So, are we going to allow that cancer to continue at this point, or are we going to establish that healthy body of Aina and Karaka and every single one of us who is going to function either as, you know, that healthy bone marrow that just keeps going, or we're going to function as an immune cell that's just going to get out there and kick some freaking ass, you know, or, you know, whatever our role is, it is that which is going to stand against that cancer. And the key to that is our neutrality as Hawaii. Because once Hawaii is free and neutral, yeah, then what's going to happen? You're going to have a need for mutual protection, right? I'm sure that everybody who has said anything bad ever about the US military, which probably includes most of us here in this room, has encountered people who will say the good old, well, if America hadn't taken it, somebody else would have. Right? Who's heard that one?
It's a good piece of propaganda.
Yep. Or who's heard, well, if America wasn't here, North Korea would bomb the shit out of this place, right? You know, which kind of course you want to go, okay, I'm pretty sure it's actually because America is here that they would want to bomb it, but if I say that, it's only going to egg these guys on, so, you know, anyway, that's, you know, that's where we find ourselves, right? But the point is that if we establish ourselves as an independent, neutral country, we can only do that by, number one, asserting ourselves collectively, all of us, yeah, as a people of this place. You know, yes, it starts with the Kanaka. Yes, it starts with the original people of the land, but it does not end there. It includes all of us. All of us need to identify as one people of Hawaii who are collectively saying, we are a neutral people. We do not fight wars. We don't do it. We will not harbor your nuclear missiles to go bomb somebody else. No, you may not bring them here. You may, along with many others, you may help to keep balance outside of Hawaii so that we can defend ourselves. That's what Switzerland basically does. That's what most neutral countries of the world do, right? They have their own military, yes, but their military doesn't actually kill anybody. It stays home and it defends its land and its people. That's what happens, right? So, I mean, I'm gonna say that while I would like to be completely anti-military, I do see that there is probably a need for all of us to be able to defend ourselves individually and collectively. And when we defend ourselves as Hawaii, as a neutral country, that means we make a commitment not to fight in any other way other than that defense, which would only be triggered if there was another invasion. So because of that, I would say that what we really need to do is we need to develop the systems that will allow our neutral country to flourish. That means we can't rely on a Matson ships, because the trade-off is bring in the toilet paper and the white rice and send, and the bombs come with it. Yeah? Now, not to say that we can't trade with others for toilet paper and white rice if we want to. But if we need that, if we need those mats and ships every single day to come in and feed us, we probably have a problem. So growing food is very, very important, and sharing food is very, very important. Sharing other resources, building every system that we need. A judicial system. Hi, Fred. There are people who are working on all of these things, everything. Our messaging systems, our basic communication systems, our treatment of sewage, everything. We need to start from the base of the system, and we need to rebuild it in a way that is pono, because we cannot have a neutral country that is not pono. So every single one of these, and pono requires many things, and that is the real question before us. What is required to be pono? Is good, healthy food required? I would say yes, right? If you're not good and healthy, you're probably going to have some problems, Is conflict resolution important? I'm a conflict resolution person, even though I'm kind of a punk-ass Kue person too, and I would say that's very crucial. You can't uphold a movement without working out the problems inside of it, knowing that there are deliberate forces that are going to try to break you up. They're going to try to make you work against each other, because that's what they do. They've studied it for hundreds of years. So, in doing that, we need to be able to counteract that with not just aloha, not just aloha, I forgive you, but specifically, what is the real problem here and how do we fix it? What's going on here? Why are these two people or these two groups angry at each other? Knowing that what we're doing is something that's bigger. We're all trying to go in the same direction, but we're getting this kind of hooky between individuals, between organizations, all of that, right? And unless we have the means and the skills, and it takes a high level of skill to be able to work out and resolve those problems, and unless we actually practice and do it, then we're going to fall right into the problem that is going to break us apart and make our neutrality look like a joke. So, building those systems, building health. We just had an awesome. Liko and I just had a little bit of a stretching exercise training this morning with Brother Ted over here. And it's like, just figuring out how to fix basic things that are wrong, whether it's a muscle that's like you just keep ignoring that's making problems, or whether, or a bad dietary habit, or a plumbing fixture that is like taking so much of your energy that you're not able to focus it properly, or whether it's a real serious kind of situation between your whole organization and another organization who should be your ally, but is not, because somebody said something to somebody and somebody got hurt, and then somebody else got hurt, and then the hurt spread, and then pretty soon it was very difficult to just simply say I'm sorry and reconcile it. Right? So that's when we need other skills to come in. Kupona, with that skill. We need systems of kokua. We need families that will support peace. We need to be able to support peace in each other, in the families. We need people to actually be there to make that support. We need people to support the peace during organizations, when there's something wrong. And we both believe that we both know where we want to go. It's just that you like go this way and I like go that way. And when I say I'm going this way and you say you're going that way, then it sounds like you're dissing me. So I'm going to diss you back so that I can show how valid my point is that's getting dissed by all these other guys. You follow me? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Even though it sounds like that, right? And so there is a way of getting through all of that. But it takes work, it takes skill, it takes bravery, because it takes as much bravery to go to somebody and fundamentally, in whatever way you gotta put it, say, I know we have a problem, you're really important to me, and we gotta work this out, please. And to do whatever it takes just to get to that point, because sometimes all you're gonna get for that is like a door in your face, right? So it's all of the steps that lead to that point if things are really bad. And what will it take to build that peace? Because when we can build that peace between each other, between ourselves, then we can look at building it in Hawaii. And when we can build it in Hawaii, then we can assert it. We can assert it to the world. And once we are able to actually assert peace to the world, there is nothing that can stop us. That is going to be a chain reaction. It's like the Death Star blowing up, But we gotta drop it right in the chute. There's no other way. We gotta do it right. We gotta do it pono. We need the support in order to do it, and we gotta do the work that it takes to get there in the first place. So, mahalo. Maybe I can play one song?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Queen's letter in 1897, I got it in Washington, received it in Virginia, and it was snowing, and I immediately imagined her traveling to America to get these red ribbons. Red ribbons are when you get actually authenticated documents that were the real documents. And this is called red ribbons.
So those red ribbons that you see people, some folks here are wearing them. The little pinned on red ribbons, that's what it's for. It's for the authenticity of the Queen's original protest that we're all standing behind.
Ew.
We all can wear red ribbons, the same color of blood. And so it was a woman's love saved us from the fire. Told her people standing down would meet their survival climbing down from her throne. Aloha oi to the choir, took a train across America to lay our story down. To the people of America, she prayed that they would find inspiration and heart's compassion for the peace of all mankind. To lift the curse that's held us under wars of wanting for profit and plunder, behind the truth and clouds thereunder, and prisons full of sons and daughters. Red ribbons dangling from her hair, red ribbons, I can see them everywhere. Red ribbons, won't you take me there? Oh, red ribbons everywhere. She did stand upon that land at home on the range, where few have heard her prophetic words and message that she gave, that one day we will rise again, sons and daughters of Hawai'i, and there'll be red ribbons everywhere. Dangling from her hair, red ribbons, I can see them everywhere. Red ribbons, won't you take me there? Oh, red ribbons everywhere. And she wanted safety for her people, shelter from the storm, wanted to protect the land from the hands of a greedy horde, and through the snow and icy embers of the stairs to see if justice lives there for those red ribbons that she wore. And so it was a woman's love saved us from the fire, told her people standing down could mean their survival, climbing down from her throne. Aloha boy, to the choir, took a train across America to lay our story down. Oh, red ribbons dangling from her hair, red ribbons, I can see them everywhere. Red ribbons, won't you take me there? Oh, red ribbons everywhere. There'll be red ribbons